Breakfast. It's a word that evokes feelings of comfort, of new beginnings. For many of us, it's a deeply ingrained ritual, a quiet moment with a cup of coffee before the world wakes up, or a chaotic, joyful scramble with family. We are taught from a young age that it's the most important meal of the day, the fuel that powers our minds and bodies. But this modern-day breakfast, with its convenience and comforting familiarity, hides a dark secret. What if the very meal designed to start your day right is, in fact, starting a slow, silent countdown to a health crisis? What if your favorite breakfast foods are secretly laying the groundwork for disease, brick by brick, inside the most vital pathways of your body? I'm talking about your arteries, the incredible network of over 60,000 miles of vessels that deliver life-giving oxygen and nutrients to every single cell. When these highways are clear, life flows freely. But when they become clogged, the consequences can be catastrophic. For decades, heart disease has remained the #1 cause of death globally, and cardiologists and nutrition scientists have been urgently pointing to our dietary habits as a primary driver. There is a powerful consensus about which foods pose the most significant threat, especially at the breakfast table. Today, we are going on a deep dive. We will unmask the single worst category of breakfast food that contributes to clogging your arteries. We won't just name it, we will explore the precise biological mechanisms through which it inflicts its damage. We'll examine the science of cholesterol, inflammation, and blood pressure in a way that's easy to understand. And most importantly, we will rebuild the perfect breakfast from the ground up, showing you delicious, powerful, and life-affirming alternatives that can help clean up your system and protect your heart for a lifetime. This is not about fear, it's about empowerment. Let's begin. Before we crown the absolute worst offender, let's look at the dishonorable mentions, the other breakfast staples that are doing your heart no favors. First up, the brightly colored boxes of sugary cereals. They promise vitamins and fun, but they deliver a massive dose of refined sugar and processed carbohydrates. This causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Your pancreas then works overtime, releasing a flood of insulin to manage this sugar rush. Done day after day, this can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes, and it promotes inflammation throughout the body, including in your arteries. Next are the seemingly innocent pastries, donuts, and muffins. These are often made with refined white flour, which acts much like sugar in the body, and are loaded with unhealthy fats, including in some cases the last vestiges of artificial trans fats. They offer a moment of pleasure, followed by a metabolic crash and zero nutritional value, leaving you hungry and more likely to make poor food choices later in the day. While these foods are certainly problematic, they are merely accomplices. The true kingpin, the category of food that cardiologists consistently identify as the most detrimental to arterial health, is, without a doubt, processed meats. What does this category include? We're talking about bacon with its irresistible sizzle, breakfast sausages, a staple in diners across the world, cured ham, deli slices, and even some types of jerky. The term processed refers to any meat that has been transformed through salting, curing, fermentation, smoking, or the addition of chemical preservatives to enhance flavor or improve preservation. These techniques, born out of a necessity to preserve food before refrigeration, have fundamentally altered the meat's structure, turning it from a simple source of protein into a complex, multi-pronged weapon against your cardiovascular system. The evidence is so overwhelming that the World Health Organization classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, placing it in the same category of certainty as tobacco and asbestos for causing cancer. Its impact on the heart is just as dire. To truly grasp the danger, we must dissect its three primary methods of attack: the fat overload, the sodium assault, and the chemical cocktail. Let's start with the first threat: the saturated fat overload. Processed meats are notoriously high in saturated fats. When you consume a meal rich in these fats, your liver goes into overdrive producing lipoproteins to transport this fat throughout your body. This leads to a sharp increase in LDL, or low-density lipoprotein. You've heard it called bad cholesterol, and the name is fitting. Think of your bloodstream as a highway and lipoproteins as vehicles. HDL, the good cholesterol, are like efficient, responsible cleanup crews. LDL, on the other hand, are like old, overloaded, sticky trucks. When there are too many of them on the highway, they become unstable, crash, and spill their sticky, fatty cargo. This cargo then gets lodged in the artery walls, initiating the formation of a dangerous substance we call plaque. This brings us to threat number 2, the sodium assault. The amount of sodium packed into processed meats is staggering, used generously for both preservation and flavor. A couple of sausages can easily push you over half of your recommended daily sodium limit. This sodium flood makes your body retain excess water, dramatically increasing the volume of blood flowing through your arteries. Your heart has to pump harder, and the pressure against your artery walls skyrockets. This is hypertension, or high blood pressure. This constant, forceful pressure acts like a sandblaster on the delicate inner lining of your arteries, called the endothelium. It creates microscopic tears, cracks, and rough patches. These damaged areas are the perfect place for the sticky LDL cholesterol we just talked about to latch on and begin its sinister construction project. Finally, we confront threat number 3, the chemical cocktail. This refers to the preservatives, specifically nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals are what give processed meats their long shelf life and characteristic pinkish color. However, inside our bodies, they can lead to the formation of compounds called nitrosamines. These compounds are highly reactive and cause something called oxidative stress. A simple analogy for oxidative stress is rusting. Just as oxygen can damage metal, these unstable molecules damage our cells and DNA. This damage triggers a constant, low-grade inflammatory response in the artery walls. Chronic inflammation is a key driver of atherosclerosis. It calls immune cells to the site of the plaque, making the plaque larger, more unstable, and more likely to rupture, which is the event that ultimately triggers a heart attack or stroke. It's a devastating trifecta. The fat builds the plaque. The salt damages the walls to let the plaque in, and the chemicals inflame the situation, hardening the arteries and turning a manageable problem into a deadly one. So now that we've banished the worst offenders, is breakfast a landscape of bland deprivation? Not at all. In fact, the world of heart-healthy breakfasts is vibrant, delicious, and deeply satisfying. This isn't about restriction, it's about upgrading. Let's build the perfect breakfast, component by component. Our first and most crucial building block is soluble fiber, and the undisputed champion is oatmeal. We're not talking about the sugary instant packets. We mean steel-cut or rolled oats. The magic ingredient here is a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. As it travels through your digestive system, it forms a thick, viscous gel. This gel has a remarkable ability. It traps cholesterol-rich bile acids, preventing them from being reabsorbed by the body. Your liver then has to pull LDL cholesterol from your bloodstream to make more bile, effectively lowering your bad cholesterol levels. It's an elegant internal cleanup process. To elevate your oatmeal, add berries for their antioxidant power, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed for omega-3 fatty acids, and a handful of walnuts or almonds for a crunch of healthy fat and protein. Next, we embrace the right kinds of fat. We need to incorporate healthy fats, specifically monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. The poster child for this is the avocado. Spreading mashed avocado on a slice of whole-grain toast is a superb choice. The monounsaturated fats in avocados have been proven to lower LDL cholesterol while simultaneously raising HDL, the good cholesterol. Remember, HDL are the cleanup crews that actively remove cholesterol plaque from the arteries and transport it back to the liver for disposal. They are the heroes in this story. Other fantastic sources of healthy fats include nuts and seeds. Chia seeds, for instance, are packed with fiber, protein, and omega-3s. A simple chia seed pudding made overnight with a plant-based milk and some fruit is a phenomenal, heart-protecting option. Finally, protein is essential for keeping you full and satisfied, preventing the urge to snack on unhealthy options. But the source matters. We need clean, lean protein. Eggs, once feared for their cholesterol content, have been largely exonerated by modern science. For the vast majority of people, the dietary cholesterol in eggs has very little effect on blood cholesterol. They are a complete protein source packed with nutrients. A vegetable omelet filled with spinach, mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers is a fantastic way to start the day. If you're plant-based, a tofu scramble with turmeric and black pepper offers a similar protein punch with powerful anti-inflammatory benefits. Another excellent choice is Greek yogurt, which is high in protein and provides probiotics for gut health, which is increasingly being linked to overall cardiovascular wellness. The picture is now crystal clear. On one side, a plate of processed meats, a meal that actively wages war on your body, promoting high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and chronic inflammation. On the other side, a vibrant bowl of oatmeal, a slice of avocado toast, or a colorful omelet. Meals that nourish, protect, cleanse, and energize. The decision you make every single morning is far more than just a choice of food. It is a profound act of self-care. It is a vote you cast for the kind of health, vitality, and future you want to experience. This journey to a healthy heart doesn't begin and end with breakfast. It is woven into the fabric of our daily lives. In the walks we take, the water we drink, the way we manage stress. But changing your breakfast is, without question, the single most impactful first step you can take. It sets a positive tone for the entire day and creates a ripple effect of better choices. It is a tangible daily commitment to your own well-being. You have the knowledge, you have the choice. Start tomorrow morning. Choose to build a better breakfast, and you will be building a better, stronger, and healthier heart, one that will thank you for decades to come.